goodness, I am so excited about today, guys, because we are going to dig into some real stuff. And for those of you who don't know me, hi, my name's Jeff. I'm a guy who wears hats, and I am excited to share with you some stuff today that has absolutely changed my life. It's changed my career, and the approach that we're going to take today to rapidly developing business is going to blow your mind. Because what I believe is that if you want to get a client today, you can do it. And I'm going to show you how. We've done this, by the way, when we were running our real estate team. We used to have days where we would do this with everybody, and we would keep driving until everybody had done it. And I'm going to do this with you today. I'm going to take you through some of the same exact exercises because these work. This stuff is battle tested, mission approved, and I want to take you through it. But I'm going to have to ask you guys up front just to play full out today. It's a lot to ask because we're going to go hard. We're going to do some stuff that takes you a little bit outside your comfort zone. Here's the first thing that I'm going to say. If you're on the call today and you're here really to learn something and actually to gain something from the call, if you would, because it's going to help all of us, take the thing down below where it says start video and click that. Let us see your beautiful face. Let us see that you're active, engaged, and actually present on the call. And I know that's weird. We don't ask for this every single time, but because we're going to do some interactive stuff today, I want to see your beautiful faces. All right. Sorry, it's me being selfish, but hey, Steve, it's good to see you. Jordan, I can see you. Jason, Steve, Angie, Jen, what's up, people? Bree, Ryan, Amber. Oh my gosh, Sutter, the G team. I can see all you guys. That's amazing. Thank you guys for doing it. And so listen, we're going to do some stuff that's a little bit outside the box today. And I'm going to ask for you guys to get comfortable being uncomfortable because we're going to do some stuff that might make you just uncomfortable for a minute, but it's going to produce results. All right, now here's where it gets really fun. Share a portion of screen. Let's make sure I got this thing up and running. Bada boom, bada bing. All right, can everybody see my screen? Yes? It's got my ugly mug on it. All right, good. First off, thank you for joining us. This is the community. We are a growth and support structured training coaching organization here at eXp Realty. If you are already with us, thank you. That's amazing. If you're a guest today, welcome. We encourage you to learn more. Go to thecommunitycenter.com. Check us out. Also, you can follow us on Facebook at The Community World or at The Community Center on YouTube. Also, check it out. Let's get into some content. So, here's really what got today going, and I'm going to get you guys into action. So again, just remind yourself, you said you'd play full out, you opened up your video, you got yourself a little bit vulnerable, maybe you didn't get your hair did today. I get it. I didn't either. Check this out. Look at that terrible hairdo. All right. I got you, man. So what would you do? Sometimes I get asked, what would you do if you absolutely had to create a client today? Today. Without cold calling or spending money, Jeff, because sometimes that's where I default, right? That's how I grew my business. And I wanted to start with an uncomfortable value proposition when I looked at this, right? I was like, okay, I need to go somewhere where I don't normally go, and that's all right. So we, first off, I talked to a bunch of friends all over the country, smart people smarter than I am, which is awesome, right? Anytime you need to solve a big problem, use big brains. So today, though, I'm going to answer the question, and we're going to do some of it together today on this call. How many of you guys would be okay if you walked away in the next, let's call it 85 minutes now, and you had a new client? Can somebody give me like a me in the chat? If you'd be okay if you walked away at the end of this call with a new client, y'all. If you're not putting me in the chat quickly, I don't know what industry you're in. Put me in the chat. You will. Thank you. Jackie, Mark, Amanda, you guys are awesome. Ryan, thank you guys. Angie. All right, now I know I got everybody waking up a little bit. Tamiko, Charlie, we're going to do this today. Oh, and get ready, by the way, something big is going to happen here today on this call. There's my little teaser. I'll show you in a minute. But we're doing a 5-minute competition soon. So I want you guys to kind of get emotionally ready for that. It's a competition on here. You're going to be competing with each other. And here's where it gets fun. I have to set your intentionality, and I want you to believe in yourself. And here's something, by the way, you guys believed in the tooth fairy for like 8 years. My belief is that you can probably believe in yourself for 5 whole minutes. All right? You believed in the tooth fairy for 8 years. Let's get behind yourself this time for 5 minutes. Look at that guy. I'm Batman, right? He believes in himself. You can believe in yourself. In fact, you know how we all make those I am statements? I want you to fill this one in your head real quick. And we're not going super deep on mindset today, but I want you to do this because if you've never been introduced to this, this is how you're going to get yourself ready. An I am statement is anything you tell yourself. I'm tired. That's an I am statement. You're labeling yourself as tired. And then you start to identify as tired Jackie or tired Jordan or tired Jason, right? You don't want to be those people. So look at this. I'm going to give you some I am statements that I hear sometimes from agents, and then we're going to flip them. And I want you to see the better. I'm tired. I'm sore. I'm not able to find any business. I'm tough to be around. I'm worn out. I'm just barely getting by. I can't do it. Do you guys want to be any of those I am statements? Is that what you want to put on your business card? Hi, my name is Steve. I'm sore. I'm tired. I'm tough to be around, right? No, what we're going to do instead, I'm strong. I'm unstoppable. I'm able to find business every day. I'm fun to be around. I'm full of energy. I'm a force for good in the world. I'm a lead generating machine, right? Like, listen to the intensity in my voice. That is real. And if you don't do it, you don't train your brain to believe it. Let's do some bad ones again. I'm a failure. I always give up. I constantly complain. Complaining is how I get attention. Anyone know anybody like that, right? Come on, get them out of your life. Delete them out of your phone. I'm always coming in last place. My failure is absolutely, or my future is absolutely doomed. My failure is guaranteed, apparently. And this one, all right. Or I'm a warrior. I never give up. I never complain. Complaining is the failure anthem of the week. Listen to that. I'm strong beyond measure. My future is absolutely infinite. Wouldn't you rather define yourself in those ways? So listen, take a quick second, fill in a couple I am statements for yourself. Write them down. I am what? Pick a few that you liked there. You can steal mine. I don't care. But whatever you tell yourself becomes your real life. Whatever you tell yourself becomes your real life. And all of it starts with the word I am. I am what? Give yourself something positive. Pour a little bit of gasoline in your tank for today. You've got maybe 5 more seconds. All right, we're playing full out today. Here we go. So it's all in your head and the mindset before you go outside. By the way, get ready. This competition is coming up and this is real. I'm not joking, by the way. We are doing a competition. Who on here is competitive? Just raise your hand and wave at me real quick so I can see that you're competitive, right? Oh, I got a few. I got some people who didn't even hesitate on that one. That's awesome. Danielle raised her hand. Okay, I see the hand raises going up. Taylor, thank you guys. That's awesome. Delita, check it out. All right, so that's good. I want you to answer a couple questions for yourself really quickly and check this out. I do this exercise with coaching clients, by the way, who pay a lot of money for this. This is a free call today. But check this out, and I want you to take this seriously. If you take this seriously, guys, you will create business right now. All right? And by the way, I'm sorry, our house is still under construction here. We're doing a giant remodel. Don't worry about the wood in the background and get all freaked out. Not in a weird warehouse somewhere. Check it out. Who do you love the most in the whole world? Don't pick yourself, someone else. Who do you love the most in the whole world? You don't have to write it in the chat, but I want you to answer the question. I want you to know it. This is the person you're like, I would jump in front of a bus for them, right? If you're a mother or a father, I have a good guess on who that might be, right? One of the kidlets. You only get to pick one. Just kidding. You can pick them all. Put them in a lump, right? If you have a significant other, maybe you don't have kids, maybe it's that person. You're just in love, right? Maybe it's that person. Maybe it's not that. Maybe it's a parent or a sibling. Somebody in your life, though, that you can identify, that person. That just is who came to mind. Okay, keep that person in your mind and go with me on this journey. Play full out mentally right now. Trust me on this process. This will work with you right now. What would you do if that person's life, and I mean their actual life, live or die, completely depended on you finding a client today? Answer the question in your mind. And I know we've got a lot of people on the call. A lot of you are watching this after the fact, and I'm going to walk you through this exercise, and then we're going to do something together. The competition starts after this part. Answer this for yourself. Boom, boom, boom. Answer the question in your brain. All right? Now, here's where it gets fun. You got your answer? This is what I would do first, right? At least first. What if that didn't work? Whatever it is that you said. What if that didn't work? What would you do next? Would you give up? Oh, sorry, this is your day to die. Or would you do something else? What would you do next? Okay, good. You've got that. What if that didn't work, though? The next thing that you just said, what if that didn't work? What would you do next? Come on, guys, with a lot of intensity, with urgency. Have you ever seen the show 24, right? His daughter just keeps getting kidnapped again and again. I don't know how, like he's the worst father on the planet, right? But somehow his daughter's always being kidnapped and he has a unique set of skills. I'm talking it's like that level of urgency though. Your person is kidnapped. You have to release them. The only way to do it is to get a client. What do you do next? You've tried 2 things. They didn't work. What are you doing now? And do a 3rd one. What if that didn't even work? Holy crap. You're feeling stressed out. It's 4 p.m. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Answer the question. Comes right to your mind. Search your brain. This is a real exercise. This is called being resourceful. You're forcing your brain to look for opportunities and connections that maybe you didn't see before. But let me ask you this question. This is the most important one. Think about the person that we started with. We said their life depended on it. Would you ever give up? Would you? It could be 11:59 and 59 seconds. You would still be trying. You would still be going for the end zone with just full energy. And here's what's interesting. It is possible that that person's life does actually depend on you right now, but you've been acting like it does not. Let that one sink in, guys. It is very possible that that person's life does depend on you and you've been acting like it doesn't. And you just gave yourself a mental picture of what it would look like if you were acting like it did. How cool is that, right? So here's what's fun. If you know that you can think and act with that level of urgency and necessity and guaranteed drive, then why would we choose not to do that every day? And yes, it is a choice. It is a choice. It's awesome. By the way, that should be the most liberating statement you've ever heard. It's a choice is not a punishment, maybe for the past, but not for the future. It's empowering for the future because it tells you can change everything starting today, and we're about to. Okay, so here's the competition, and this is the fun part. Okay, get ready to shake in your boots a little bit, but it's okay. This competition is going to be awesome. Jackie's taking a deep breath. I like it. I'm ready for you, man. I got you, girl. All right, listen. I've done this competition with so many people. One of you at least is going to walk away from this exercise with a new client. You read that correctly. I know the math, so I absolutely do know how this is going to work. But for it to work, you must play full out. You must play full out. So who's going to play full out, right? Put it in. Yeah, there we go, Jason. I see Jason getting pumped, man. I know that guy's a competitor. He's going to like run through a brick wall. Got Taylor's hand up, Danielle's hand up. That's awesome. I'm jazzed today, right? Like, I'll tell you guys, here's what we're going to do. First off, you're going to learn this script, and this is about to change everything for you. You are now in a competition. Congratulations. I just announced it. You didn't mean to enter it, but you're in it. You are in this competition. It's real. It's happening right here, right now. This is real. Okay. So here's the script. If I'm calling up Jackie, I call her up. She's one of my friends. We're going to do this in just a minute. I'm going to tell you the rules of the game, by the way. I say, hey, Jackie, how you doing? She's like, hey, Jeff, I'm doing pretty well. What's going on? I said, awesome. Listen, this is actually a business call. Do you have just a second? And she's like, sure. And I'm like, okay, listen, right to business. I'm in a major national training program right now to grow my business. And I was wondering, can you help me with something? And she'd be like, sure, Jeff, what's going on? And I'm like, well, as a part of the training, they announced a competition to see who could get the most referrals for people who need to buy or sell real estate in the next 12 months. So do you know of anyone from work or the neighborhood or maybe church that might be thinking that they'll make a move this year? And then do not talk. I've done this so many freaking times, guys, and this is amazing. If you simply do not talk after that question mark, magic will happen in your life. And I know that some of you are doubting yourselves right now because you're like, oh, I've tried everything. You have not tried everything. There's like 6 billion everythings. I guarantee you haven't tried them all. All right. Don't talk yourself out of your own future. Don't do that. Pump the brakes on all the negative self-talk. So who's going to play full out? We said some of us were going to play full out right before you even knew what it was, which I love. I love those of you who are like, I'm going to play full out. If I was like, slam your face on a brick wall, you'd be like, I'm on, right? Doesn't matter. I'm that guy too. I love it. All right. So, but here's the thing. For this to work, you have to have 100% energy. And 100% energy. Why? Because sales, if nobody ever told you, And I'm loving that Michaela's on a walk right now, man. By the way, that's part of how you get energy. That's rad, man. Still got your hand up, so I'm seeing you right at the top here. But listen, in order for this to work, you have to have 100% energy. And energy actually starts where? In your body. It starts in your body, transitions into your mind. Okay, so if we know that we want to play full out, I'm going to set you up for success here, and then we are going to activate the biggest competition we've ever had. And here's my goal. My actual goal here today is to see if we can get to over 100 referrals. That's my actual goal for everyone on this call. Come on, man. Let's make 100 people happier because they get to work with you guys today. I'm dead serious. And I have run this sales program for other brokerages, for other teams, for other whatever. I'm just telling you it works. Okay. Trust the process. Play full out. Play full out. Come on, baby. All right, here we go. So now walk with me through this process. And here it goes. This is where it gets uncomfortable because everybody always groans when I get to the next slide. You ready? Stand up. Stand up. Come on. I know it feels weird, but I can see you. So I absolutely know if you turn your camera off right now, it's because you're laying down on the floor, putting your thumb in your mouth. Don't do it. Stand up. Trust me. Jordan's already standing. I love it. All right, man. So check it out. Stand up. Now I'm going to go through the next little bit, and I want to encourage you to play full out. And that means do everything that I say here. This stuff is not accidental, and I'm not screwing around. This actually works. So just play full out. Trust the process. Stop thinking. Sometimes you think yourself right out of success. I promise you, stop thinking. Put your chin up a little bit. Okay. Now, shoulders back, open up your chest a little bit so that you can take a deep breath. Take a deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Purge some of that weird energy that's inside you. Now, I want you to take your face and smile really big. Smile. It's awesome. Feels so good. Now, deep breath again. Deep breath again. And now smile even bigger, just a little bit bigger this time. Now you're going to do something weird. The people around you are going to think you're weird. You ready? A big loud sigh. Ah. And now a goofy smile. Show me. Come on. Doesn't matter what it looks like. Doesn't matter. Goofy smile. Make yourself laugh a little bit. Now, out loud, I want you to make a little bit of a crazy out loud laugh sound. Sounds like this. Just trust me. Actors do it. You can do it too. Come on. Fake like you're able to play full out. Oh, man. Somebody's even unmuted. That's exciting. We got to hear your crazy out loud laugh. That was fun. So check it out. Smile even bigger. We're almost done here with this part, but I want you guys to stay in. Take a deep breath again. Roll your shoulders. One more deep breath. Shake out your whole body. Do it. Get the weirdies out of there. Come on. You got some weirdies in your hands. You got some weirdies in your shoulders, something in your breathing. Nope, don't do it. All right, now stand up like a superhero. Put your fists right on your hips. You know, like how Wonder Woman stands. Boom. Chin is still up. You're breathing strong. You feel strong. Now smile even bigger. Now hold that pose and breathe with your chin up, your body feeling full of strong energy. If you've never done this before and you think I'm weird right now, that is okay, but I'm going to be weird all the way to the finish line with you if you stay with me. I promise you this is going to work. Now, here's what's going to happen. For 5 minutes of playing full out, here's what's going to happen. The game rules. The game will last for only 5 minutes. The game will last. The Hunger Games. During the entire 5 minutes, you must call as many people in your phone as you possibly can. Who do I call, Jeff? I don't know. Start at A, go to Z. Doesn't matter to me. I don't care. Call them. Well, what do they have to be in my area? No, you can refer them to another area. I do not care. You choose. But you must keep calling. One call ends. Call the next one. Don't overthink it. This is not a text message game. It's a phone call. Keep your energy strong the entire time. Keep your hands on your hips. Keep your chin up. Stay breathing. Do not lose that. Keep your voice excited and urgent, okay? Excited and urgent. I'm going to show you in just a second. And I want every single one of you to put in the chat so we can all see when you get a referral. Oh, I think I might know my friend Carol at work and the blah, 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 blah. Great. Carol, would you send me your number? Awesome. Just got a referral. Boom. Put it in there. We want to celebrate you every single time. Okay. Keep your mic muted, please, so that we can't hear you on your call. We don't need to know how the conversation with Carol went in real time. And do not leave a message. We are not leaving voicemails. You will get callbacks from people who don't answer, and then you get to run the same script on them later. Okay. You have my permission to bail anytime during this call and tell us later in the call when you get yet another referral. Okay. We're doing this for 5 minutes. So I'm going to show you what excited and urgent looks like. Okay. Excited and urgent. Hey, how you doing? That's excited and urgent. It's not, hey, how you doing? That's not excited and urgent. That's sleepy bo beepy. Don't do that. All right. You ready? Here we go. We're going to start in 5, 4. Get ready, guys. Come on. Big energy. 3, 2, 1. 5 minutes. Who's going to win? Get the most referrals. Let's go. $60. and time. Go ahead and wrap your call. You can turn me down for a second. That's awesome, Cynthia. And another. All right. I know you guys need to wrap up your calls. Feel free to step away, wrap up your call, wrap up your call. Come on back when you're done. So excited for you. Oh my gosh, we got so many. Boom. Got another one, got another one, got another one. That's incredible, guys. Okay, so listen. Oh man, it gives me so much energy to see those start rolling in, guys. I absolutely love it. Liz got one, 2 in the room. That is so rad. Listen to that. We got like 15 right there. That's unbelievable. That is unbelievable. Keep going if you're on your call. Keep going. You can step aside. I'm not offended. But listen, for those of you who are already back, I want to ask some questions. Because that was super powerful for me. I want to ask what happened. And if somebody wouldn't mind, by the way, really quickly, we're going to ask 4 questions. What happened? Did you die? Number 3, how do you feel? And would you have made one more call if you had time? All right. So real quick, would somebody mind who got a referral? Somebody who got a referral, would you mind unmuting yourself so we could just hear from you real quick? Somebody who got a referral.
I'll jump in real quick. So I just started looking through my phone, and the ones I called right away were the ones that just sold. And that was the second call I got. She said, yes, I actually have somebody at my work. So we're going to meet up and get cards and meet that person. So that's what happened.
So cool,
3 more calls were made. 2 more people answered. They giggled a little bit when I was saying the script and going over it, but I was very thankful that they answered, moved on to the next one. And if I had more time, I would make another call. And now I'm like, why didn't I do this 7 years ago when I started? Because I would be a millionaire right now. So that's how
so
I feel
cool,
about
man.
This was powerful, Jeff. Thank you.
I love it. I love it. And it feels so good to get that one that says yes, right? And by the way, those people who giggled, you actually don't, you move your relationship forward with them because they see you working. That's the funny thing is sometimes we say, oh, they're going to think I'm weird. They're not going to think you weird. They're going to think you're at a competition, at a training, right? Like it's all the stuff because you're at a training in a competition. It's awesome. Jason, thank you for sharing. One other person who had some success, who got a referral, somebody who's willing to unmute themselves. Would one more person be willing to just chat with us for a second? Tell us just what happened.
I will.
All right, do it.
Here, I have it. Anyway. So I got a hold of 2 people, and the first person I said, I'm in this. This is really, I know we got to get together for dinner, but this is a business call, and I'm on this contest right now, and I need to get a referral from somebody that I know. So who do you know that needs a, do you know anybody that needs to buy or sell right now? And he's like, no, I can't right now, but okay, go make another call. Okay, go.
That's awesome.
And then the next one I called was actually his daughter, because they've given me a lot of business. And so I said to her, same exact thing. And then she goes, okay, no. And she goes, yes, actually. So my boss and I were talking about partnering on an apartment building, and I'm talking to him at 10, and we will definitely call you if it's something that we want to move forward on.
Come on, Joanne, that is amazing. So guys, here's the fun part. Joanne, so when you talked with the first guy, you had some urgency in your voice. I'm doing this competition and I gotta, right? Come on. And guess what he heard? He responded with the exact same energy, because remember, sales is a transfer of energy, and you transferred your energy of urgency. And he's trying to rack his mind like, oh, I need to find one for Joanne. Like I want to help her, right? Because we've got all the right verbiage inside that script. The script is not unintentional. It's not accidental. It says, would you mind helping me? Would you help me? Right? Those help me, that's a powerful phrase. And everybody on earth responds the same way to that phrase. I just want you guys to know it's baked into the equation. That is amazing. That is absolutely amazing. And by the way, I counted, I didn't give it an exact count. It looked like we had like 15. So a little far cry from my 100, but 15 from 5 minutes of calling with all of us is an absolute power play. And what I want to show you guys is 15 out of 60 means that 25% of us just got a referral. So now think about it this way. If we were to do this exercise for 20 minutes, 100% of us would have gotten a referral by that math. Or at least we would have gotten 60 referrals. The same pace would have played true. So I want to have you guys understand that's only 20 minutes of your day to get a referral if you just called with that level of urgency and absolute certainty that you need something from the other person and that they can help you, and you're positive and you're happy and you've got the smile on your face and you're standing like Wonder Woman, right? And I love that stuff. So what happened? We got referrals. That's what happened. It was awesome, right? Literally, we got a referral every, let me see, that would be like every 10 to 12 seconds. About every 10 to 12 seconds out of the group here. How did you die? I didn't see anybody burst into flames on the call, so I think we're good. How did you feel, right? We just talked to two people, both of them were smiling and they're energized, right? How do you feel when you get a win? Energized. Doesn't matter that you swung the bat and whiffed a couple of times, you cracked it on the third one and it went out of the park. Doesn't matter. That out of the park eliminates the feeling from the other ones. And would you have made one more call? Abso-freaking-lutely, because you're not a dumb dummy. All right, now here's what's fun. Because my whole goal today, by the way, I set myself up. I want you guys to know when I decided I was going to do this call today, I said, I'm going to set myself up because I said, I'm going to figure out what is it that agents want to hear, and then I'm going to figure out the answer. And I said, they want to hear how to go get a client literally today, but they don't want to spend money because the market's weird and they don't want to spend money. I don't even want you to spend money. And they don't want to do cold calling, right? Because the number of agents I've heard, cold calling makes me scared. Maybe you're a cold caller, that's awesome, so am I. But if you don't want to do it, calling people in your phone, that's not cold. Why the hell are they in your phone if you don't know them? Get them out of there. I have 4,900 contacts in my phone, by the way, and I know all of them, which is weird. Not really sure how that happens, just a lot of people. So I also, and if you don't know how to figure that out, by the way, if you're in an iPhone, go in your contacts, scroll to the bottom, it tells you how many people are there. Divide by the next 30 days and call all of them. But they're in Kentucky and I'm in New Hampshire. It doesn't matter. Get a referral, man. Like, keep going. They may know somebody in your neck of the woods. They may know somebody in their neck of the woods that wants to sell a $55 million apartment complex, and you get to do the referral to the commercial agent. So I asked my friends what they would do if they absolutely had to. Same scenario. I just called up people. Hey, what would you do, right? Because I'm being a freak, and I'm just asking people I trust that I think are smarter than I am. And so I'm gonna give you these, and some of these are my very best friends. This first one, this is one of my homeboys. All right, this is Daryl the Dino. For anybody who's still conscious and checked in on the call, you realize that Daryl may not be my very best friend, but Daryl the Dino, and I'm going to give you some real strategies here. I'm just trying to be playful with this, but I actually believe in these strategies. So please understand, part of what we're doing here, these are things that came out of resourcefulness, and I have some real people that are showing up on these slides coming up. Daryl the Dino says I would simply roar down to my local lender's office, and I would ask them to let me stand out in front of their office all day with a free list of foreclosures inside, or a get a great home rate today sign to scare up some drop-in traffic for them that we could convert together. How many lenders wouldn't want you actively campaigning or prospecting to help them to bring business inside their shop? Now, different rules for different folks, check with your state broker, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and et cetera. However, this can go a lot of different directions for a lot of different businesses. And I am just telling you guys that active prospecting for someone else's shop that is in a sister industry can work, has worked, I've done it, okay? So that could be something you did today. Again, the question today is, what would we do? Remember in the exercise, I said, what if that didn't work? What if that didn't work? What if that didn't work? I asked that to my friends, and here's the answers. John Sellers, this crazy man in the picture, he said to me, he goes, I would call every single one. If his kids or his wife depended on it today, every single one of his past clients in Sphere, all of them, to ask for referrals, either the same way that we just did, or one of the ways that you're going to see in a moment. We got a great script from one of our other leaders, which I'm excited to share with you guys. I would call as many people as I could, though it really comes down to volume, he said, and I would door knock or circle dial as many people as I could to have the maximum number of conversations. I would just keep going all day until I hit the goal. That's the thing to take away. Filbert the Frog said, I would hop on the phone with every single top agent in a neighboring town. Listen to this one. Think about a neighboring town, right? I can see my good buddy Jason Giles right there. This would be, for him, a neighboring town would be like Portland. Portland is an area where Jason is not driving most likely to do business. It's just far enough away where it's kind of uncomfortable. Okay, I just happen to know his area, so I can call him out. All right. So call the top agents there and offer them a 50% or other, doesn't matter, by the way, this is just an example, guys, whatever, a big referral. I'll change it. I'll make it say big on the screen so you guys don't all freak out. There you go. A big referral on any business that they can refer to me right away. I would offer that. And then I would say, who do you know right now? And they say, well, I don't know anybody. I'd be like, awesome. Well, listen, I really want to do this now. And I'm offering this to a number of my folks and I can't offer it forever. So call me back maybe in the next 30 days if you possibly can. I really need to get something put together, right? And here's what's going to happen. That same day, if you made that call to 20 people, you would find a piece of business. It will work. You have to work it. That's how it works. Next one, I talked to Lexi Sanchez, my beautiful partner, and she said, you know what? Database is number one. By the way, this is a common thread with a lot of top producers that I talk to. I'd see if I would contact every single person in my database. I would call all lenders and I would give my value prop and tell them I'm ready to work right now with a client they have today. By the way, I hear people say all the time, well, I talk to my lender all the time. They don't have any business. When was the last time you said, when are you going to give me a piece of business? Lenders actively prospect to real estate agents. Flip the script, y'all. Hey, listen, I love working with you and I want to keep working with you. I really do. And I also kind of just need to ring the bell right now. Who are you working with currently? Who have you recently pre-qualified that you haven't assigned to one of your other agent partners? Because I would really like to work with somebody today. With a smile on your face, right? Make them work. I don't care, man. Oh, that makes them uncomfortable. Good. Make them uncomfortable. I don't care. Guess what will happen tomorrow if they don't find one today? They'll find you one by tomorrow because they're going to be scared that you're going to stop sending them your deals. It's amazing how quickly that one works. Sally the Salamander said, I would slide down to the most popular corner in town and stand with a sign that says, ask me how I can sell your house for the most money possible. This one actually stole from a buddy named Tony DeSello, who's a smart guy. And he literally said, if you stood on a corner or even just hung a sign over a donkey on a corner that said, call XYZ number to list your house today, eventually you would get a piece of business. Sometimes we are simply afraid. A lot of you read that and you're like, I would never do that. I would do that, by the way. I would, in a dino suit, flipping the sign around like a crazy person. You're like, nobody will ever respect you. I disagree. I disagree. I would get the business and then they'll respect me. It's going to be awesome. Show them how I do it. Heather Rich, another powerhouse leader here in the organization, in the community, she said, I would put on my name badge and I would go out to and talk to every single person. And at some point I would ask them this question. Check out this script, guys. This is amazing. I love this script. Super high urgency. So I think this is some Buffini magic, but I don't know totally. Heather, correct me if I'm wrong. I want to ask you a question. If you or anyone you know are thinking about buying or selling a house this spring, am I your agent? Now, here's what's interesting on that. They will give you the referral right there. If they know someone. You don't even have to ask further than that. The referral will stumble out of their mouth. It's an absolutely incredible opportunity to build with another person. But here's the one thing that came out the same from everybody that I talked to, and this is really, really, really awesome, guys. And this is the same way that I felt. What is it that everyone I said, or I asked this to, said that they would do that was the same? They said that they would do a huge amount of whatever they chose to do, and they would not stop until they had the trophy in hand. How many of us try things one time and you're like, well, I guess I didn't win the Olympics, so I'll never try to play soccer again. I guess I didn't go to Wimbledon, so tennis just isn't for me after these 5 minutes. Right? It sounds dumb when you say that stuff. I tried to throw a football one time. This is true for me. And it went wobbledy, wobbledy, wobbledy through the air. Guess I'll just never be good enough to play football. I should give up immediately. Sounds dumb when we talk about it that way, right? I sat down at a piano one time and I hit it with my face and it didn't make the right kinds of sounds. I guess I'm not a pianist. I'll never try again. I'm not a Carnegie Hall, right? Stupid. But yet we do it to ourselves all the time. Quick reframe, all right? If you guys haven't noticed, I tend to be a little high energy and I like living that way. Join me on the dark side. It's beautiful, all right? And what I will tell you is that if sales is a transfer of energy and you've got more energy than the entire market does all put together, you will do more business. How many people feel like the real estate industry has lost a little bit of energy recently? Right? If you watch the news, you should have your hand up. I don't watch the news, but check it out. The energy comes from you. There's too many people believing the rhetoric, and as a result, their behaviors are tracking with the rhetoric. I have agents that I'm in business with who are destroying this market right now and are doing more business than they did this time last year. But that's because of their actions, not because of the market. They're not waiting for business to fall in their lap like a train coming into a train station. So it's okay to be extreme. And I'm going to give you some examples. Check this out. Here's some extreme things that would work. These are things I've done. Number one, partner with an agent friend and hold an 8-hour open house today in a great location. Put out like 30 or more signs covering every single major intersection with words like free list of foreclosures, or ask me how to spend less money, or unlimited lists of MLS homes, right? One of you stays in the house, check this out, and meets with prospects, and then nonstop calls your sphere when there's nobody in the house. Not on Facebook, not on Instagram, not on Twitter, not on TikTok, not on Snoozy, or whatever the other ones are that everyone's on. I don't know, right? Literally, I've got dead time. I'm calling my sphere, 4,900 in my phone. I'm going to try and make it through all of them in a day, right? That kind of intensity. The other person nonstop door knocks and also gets some serious cardio for 8 hours, the entire neighborhood. Go big or go home. Hey, we're having an open house. Just wanted to invite you to pop by. Also, do you happen to know anybody who wants to buy or sell in the neighborhood? Nope. Awesome. Have a great day. See you over at the open house. Next door. Boom. Keep going. I promise you, if you and a partner did that for 8 hours, you'd probably walk away with the day, or from the day, with like 5, 6, 7, 8 leads, maybe even more than that, to be honest with you, and just split them 50-50 with each other. You could co-work all the deals. I don't care. It's up to you. But the thing is, if you did this level of work, sometimes with a partner, it's kind of fun, right? Like makes it easier to kind of do the grind, right? Do the grindy grind. All right, next one, go more extreme things that are going to work. Go onto Facebook, join every single referral group on Facebook. Everyone? Yeah, everyone. Well, maybe everyone with 10,000 or more members or 5,000 or more members, right? Where they've had a post in the last 5 days. Call every single agent with an active referral for your area and say, and by the way, your area, maybe be a little flexible on that concept at the moment. You guys reading me, right? Like let that area breathe a little bit. I've heard you might have a client with needs in my area here, and I wanted to give you a quick call. You're calling the agent who's referring. Tell me a bit more about your client's needs. What do people see? If you've ever been in a referral group, agents are like, me, I'm there. And then that's the end of like your lead generation. That's as desperate as you were to get that piece of business. Take it back to the very beginning of this presentation though. And what did we say? We said, what if there was someone in your world that you loved the most? Look at this. What would you do if their life completely depended on you finding a client today? Right? Now, think about going and talking to that agent with the referral. How are you approaching it now, sweetheart? Right? Hello? We're doing it now. Now we're calling them up and we are going for the business because somebody in our life relies on us doing it right. So we call them up. Hey, how you doing? Tell me a little bit about your client's needs. I'm so excited. Boom, right? They feel that. And if they start telling you anything about their client's needs, that's your referral. The close is fantastic. Well, I'm guessing blah, blah, blah % works for you. Yeah, okay, send it on over. Do you want me to write it up? Sounds great. I can't wait to work with them. End the call, get the lead, next call. Now, Jeff, what if there's not one in my area for that day? Okay, great. Then call every single agent that's referred any piece of business to your area for the last year from every single one of those groups. I don't have time for that. Listen, I'm talking, if you don't have business right now, what are you doing for 8 hours a day exactly? Just be honest with yourself. You don't have to be honest with me. This is not Catholic Church. We're not in confession right now, guys. I promise you though, just confess to yourself. You either work full-time for Facebook or you're like, full-time employee of Google searches, right? Like chief social media director of your own enterprise. Like, don't do that to yourself and then lie to yourself on the tail end of it. What I'm saying is spend an entire day doing something uncomfortable so that your life can become more comfortable. And so that the person that you love most in the world's life can become more comfortable. It's awesome. By the way, offer them a big referral. I love that. Sweeten it up right now if you need the business. Listen, if you're like, Jeff, I've got more business than I could possibly work, then don't do this. Duh. That's okay. But if you need to stimulate, then stimulate. What about this one? Call all of the top commercial agents. I would never call them. They're so sophisticated. Oh, come on. All right. They just do a little bit more math on occasion with things like NOI and ROI and all sorts of OIs. Okay. So call all the top commercial agents in your area. Ask them if they have a standing bilateral, that means both directions, referral agreement with a top residential specialist in the area. If not, ask them if they'd like to go ahead and get one established. Because wouldn't that be amazing, right? For them to have a referral partner, both directions. Listen, I'm going to stumble across a lot of commercial properties. I'd love to send them all to you. I just would love it if you'd send some of your residential stuff over to me. If they already have one in place, just ask them if you could be their first, second choice. Listen, I'm sure that agent's amazing, but if they're out of town or unavailable, I'd love to be your first, second choice. Sound good? Close. Be willing to close. It's okay. Next, what other extreme things would work, Jeff? These are so extreme, right? Like I could never. Yes, you can. I am a warrior. Remember from the beginning of the call? If you're already feeling worn out, we're only 48 minutes into the call, you need to ask yourself a little about your own energy paradigm, by the way, just as an aside. I want you to think about that. I'm getting tired just thinking about this. Yeah, you are, because you're not in the practice of being high energy in your own life. If that's you. If that's you. Some of you guys are amazing. I can see you already. Like some of you are like, I want to get off this thing so I can call another 55 people. All right, what about this? Call every single one of the CPAs in your area. Same as the last one, different concept. What's a CPA? Certified Public Accountant, right? A lot of times they're dealing with people who need to move funds during the year, right? Sometimes they're dealing with 1031s. Sometimes they're dealing with all this stuff. Now they can't disclose things to you, but they very frequently do have referral partners that are real estate agents. So you could ask them if they know of anyone that's looking to buy, sell, or invest this tax year. And if they do already have a real estate agent that they refer business back and forth with, then you could say, listen, I'd love to be your first, second choice. Same as the last one. One more. What about estate, trust, or probate attorneys in your area? Well, these are too many to call. Yes, it's too many to call. It's too many to call. You have 4,900 people in your phone, and then all the attorneys, and then all the commercial agents, and then you sit at your desk and you go, I don't know what to do. Think about that, right? I've got too many people to call, all for free. None of them are cold. Now, some of these are cold, I guess, if you don't know those estate or trust or probate attorneys. Maybe, but develop a relationship. They're going to send you business, okay? That stuff is amazing. So I want to stop for a second because I know the average price point roughly on this call is about 450,000. And I just want to tell you guys, like, listen to this. We did 5 minutes worth of calling, and let's just say it was 450,000. Actually, I'm going to share my screen with you one more time because I want you guys to see this math. Here we go. 450,000, right? Times 15 referrals equals 6.75. Let's just say I don't know, we'll just guess 3%. I can't see the deals, obviously. So we just generated $202,000 worth of revenue divided by 5 minutes. We made $40,000 a minute as a group. I just want to put it in perspective. $40,000 a minute times 60 creates an hourly wage of $2.4 million an hour. Is anybody on this call so important that you can't work for $2.4 million an hour? Raise your hand. If you can't, if you're like 2.4, thanks, Jason. I appreciate it. I needed one. if you're like, I can't work for 2.4 million an hour, I'm sorry, it's just taking a nosedive on my business. The core fundamentals of my operations would need me, right? Like, no, come on, 2.4 million an hour. And sometimes we tell ourselves, well, I don't have time. So we go spend an hour doing something dumb. Right? Thanks, Emily. I see your money bags down there. That's awesome. We spend an hour wasting our lives all the time. And what I'm going to encourage you to do, this is one of my core philosophies. If there's something about your life that you don't like, please fix it. That sounds so dumb, but I actually mean it. Think about that. If there's something about your life that you don't like, it's your freaking life. Fix it. You don't need anyone's permission. You don't need to wait for anything. Well, but it would be hard. Okay. So someday you're going to be laying on your deathbed and you're going to be like, damn, I wish I did that sooner. Just do it. I don't know what it is for you. There's something in your world. There always is, right? There's something in all of ours. We just tackle those. But if you put the biggest one first and then you tackle that hurdle, and it may be for you that today you made 5 minutes worth of phone calls and you made more progress in your own business than you've made in the last year. I've had that happen with agents who called me and they said, I started doing that literally for 20 days in a row, and I've got 10 properties in escrow. I've taken new agents and had them do this for 20, 30 minutes a day, brand new to the marketplace, and they're putting 5, 6, 7, 8 in escrow. Now, this is not complicated, but we overcomplicate things because we tell ourselves a story. I am not able to do it. I can't, right? That's an I am statement in disguise. I can't do it. Really? Can't you? You're choosing not to. So what's fun on this is that this sets us up for a different type of a success paradigm moving forward, right? A lot of us feel a lot of the times like we're stuck. So I want to go back. Jeff, I can't be in a competition every single day. Yeah, I know. I heard the little alarm bell go off in your head, right? But what you can do every single, well, first off, you technically could be, go get 3 friends, have a competition every single morning at 9 a.m. and just call different people. Now you got to be keeping track of who you're calling, and you're running a different little competition with your friends. Not disingenuous, if you ask me. I think that is a wonderful way to lead generate. I don't care, but if you want a couple others, hey, just call the person and ask for the business. Hey, listen, I'm really trying to plan my business for this year, and I'm going to be out of town a couple of times, and I would hate to miss anybody in your neck of the woods from church or neighborhood, or maybe someone that you know from work that would need to buy or sell this year. Would you help me? They'll be like, sure. Who do you know who fits the bill that I could talk to today? We're so resistant sometimes to doing that. And then you track it. How many do you think you would need to call per day? Actually, let me ask this. During the 5 minutes, on average, this is a nice little poll. Would you guys put in the chat, how many people did you call? Just phones that rang. They don't have to answer. How many dials did you make in 5 minutes? If you don't remember, just guess. Angie says 5. How many dials? Jason made 6. You got a referral. Steve did 3, Sutter is 7, Jen G got a referral, she did 4, Joanne got 4, she got a referral, Jackie did 3, Jessica 4, Amanda 3, Michaela 1. Yeah, I think Michaela got a referral on that too. Some of you did. Sorry, 1 texted back, Angie, that's awesome, right? So roughly, let's call it a call a minute. So let's imagine that you did this for 1 hour a day. And let's round down to 40, because one of those calls is going to go long. And let's say that you made 40 dials 5 days, or excuse me, 40 outbound calls 5 days a week. What's 5 times 40? Anyone? 5 times 40. Someone put it in the chat for me. We'll have to pull out our calculator. Got a bunch of realtors on the call here. 5 times 40 means we would call 200 people. Well, what if only half of them answered? And our ratio here was about a quarter of them gave us a referral. How many of you would be okay with 25 referrals per week? I'm showing you how to
pick me.
Right. Thanks, Jason. Thanks. Whoever that was that just unmuted. That's awesome, right? Like, yes, absolutely. But we don't think about our business sometimes that way. But this is called the law of large numbers. The more of anything that you do, the closer you actually get to average, which average sometimes is much better than you're doing. How many of us have ever felt like we're doing a little bit below average, right? That's when we get depressed and start saying all those negative I am statements, right? That's okay. How do you get out of that? Shoot for average. Stop feeling like you have to be number 1 in order to be successful. You don't have to be. You just have to do something, and you need to do it enough that you become average at it, because then you can become above average. That's okay. But average in this case, as it turns out, based on this group, would have been 25 referrals over the next week if you simply did this for an hour a day, 5 days a week. Well, but I'm on Facebooking during that hour. I know. All right. But so like switch the game. 25. Well, Jeff, what if only half of those close? All right. So that's divide by 2 equals that. And what if half of those fall out? Divide by 2. All right. Let's do that. And what if Jeff's lying by 50%? All right. Divide by 2. Look, I'm still cutting it in half. This is negative. Yeah. Let's divide by 2 one more time just for fun. Who would be okay with closing a deal and a half extra, 6 extra deals a month? And many of us say, how do these big teams get so big? The answer is this. It's called a daily diet of prospecting in your world. A daily diet of prospecting. It's deciding to be uncomfortable so that your life can be comfortable. I will trade 1 hour specifically of discomfort in my life for an entire lifetime of amazing comfort so that I can build wealth that transcends my daily discomfort. Does that make sense to you guys? Yes? Awesome. I'm so excited right now because I saw so many smiling faces as we got done with that exercise. And what I'm going to encourage you to do is at the end of this call, I actually have some takeaways that I want to send you guys home with. But as we transition into the next season, and I want to prepare you guys for this. So anyone watching this, if you're on YouTube or wherever, that's awesome. Thanks for joining us. Love it. Today's February, right? And we're in 2023. And we are starting to scale into the mid-market. Now, if you don't know what seasonal adjustment is in real estate, seasonal adjustment works like this. It means that generally in most markets, unless you're in Arizona, it looks like this. Whoops. It's supposed to be a nice even mountain. Just deal with it. All right. So right in here, this area generally accounts for, hold on, over 50% of the deals in the year, and wait for it, 2.5 months. 50% of all the transactions in the year. Now, here's what's funny. This is like July and August, roughly. Whoops. Whatever, you guys get it. Now, here's what's really fun. Check this out. Over here, this is when that business is being built. So when would it be important for us to all start doing this behavior if we're going to build our business? Right over here, right where we are right now, where we are today, doing the stuff we're doing right now. Okay? This is called the ramp up into seasonal adjustment. And if you want bliss in your mid-market this year, well, I watched the news for 20 seconds and they told me everything's an apocalypse. Yeah, well, stop doing that. And I promise you, there are still people being hired and fired, and grandma's house just, burnt down. Now they got to move her to another place. It doesn't matter. People will still buy, sell real estate, and some agents have left the industry. There will be more left over for those of you who are willing to make a couple phone calls. I promise you that. But as we are in quarter one, we are ramping up into quarter two. That's when you build your businesses right now, and you can get exponential at it. You can have a better year. Here's the little secret, and I want you guys to hear this. You can have a better year this year than you had last year. Last year, you remember the year when you're walking down the street and you got hit by 12 escrows accidentally, right? Because just whoops, it seems like closing deals just stick to me right now. Yes, that was nice. I understand. Right now, your ability to simply make an hour worth of phone calls per day, and I'm trying to sell you on the daily diet. I want to sell you on a daily diet right now because it's going to change your life. It will fix everything for you. Because fight, flight, or freeze is what most agents are doing right now. And fight is the only way to grow your business in this. Cynthia says, I just had one call me back and I got a referral. Thank you, Cynthia. That's awesome. And Steve says, I'm also texting like Superman over here. Yes, that's incredible, brother. Keep lead genning. That's incredible. People are going to call you back. Here's what's fun on this. We just did, so that's another one. Now we're at 16, 17, 18, whatever it is. I'm losing count. My guess actually is by the end of the day, it will equal 100. So when Lexi and I were running a really large, successful real estate team, we would do 2 hours of this per day, not necessarily the same script, but high urgency. We would prep up, we would do exercises, we would breathe, we would get excited, we'd chin up, we would stand up, we'd slap on a headset, and we would call with energy and excitement and enthusiasm and urgency in our voices. And guess what? We would create multiple listing appointments every day, multiple buyer appointments every day out of thin air. You can do this. You simply have to decide that your business is yours and that you're not going to do the shoe store method where it's like, I got the store, I don't know why no one's coming in. Yeah, I know. It's because it's down a dark alley and no one can find you. But if you walk out onto the street and you jump up and down and you're dressed as a shoe with a sign that says, I got shoes, baby, they'll come into your shoe shop. All right, a couple more things that I want to cover with you guys today because we've actually got 30 minutes left in this call and I'm so excited for what comes next here. So as you start to develop the daily diet, the other thing I'm going to encourage you to do, and this is the number one thing I would do today, even starting right now, it's 2 p.m. where I live, by the way. 2 p.m. where I live. I truly believe that if you said your life depends on it, find a deal by the end of the day, I could do it by midnight. I might need until midnight, by the way. I could do it by midnight. A deal. I'm not talking about a lead or prospect. Sorry, if Craig's on here, he likes the word transaction. So a transaction, okay, by the end of the day. How? I would talk to more people than everyone else. That's how. I would go where the people are located and I would start having conversations. What do you do for a living? They say, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, that's awesome, man. How is it? They're like, oh, it's great. What do you do? That's awesome. I'm in real estate. In fact, it's funny you mention it. I've been planning out my business for this year. Just now, we've made some strategic changes in the way that we're running our shop. And I'm actually looking for 3 or 4 more people I could work with this year that happen to have high urgency. These are people who really need my help. I specialize in helping people that really, really need help right now. And you're thinking to yourself, I would never say that. I know. That's why I got a lot of business, is because most people wouldn't say that. And what's interesting is if you're willing to do what most people won't do, then you will be able to get what most people do not have. If you're like, well, nobody would say that. That might be because that's the right answer. Warren Buffett says when everyone turns right, turn left. Right? It's an awesome way to think. If the herd is going that direction, you will get average results in that direction. Because that's the definition of average. It's what everyone does. If you want to be way different, you're going to have to be way different, which means you're going to have to act. You're going to have that identity statement. So I'm going to go back into my slides really quickly, and I want to show you something that I think is really exciting. And we're going to circle backward just for a minute so you guys can make sure that you've really grasped this final concept. Because we had this slide earlier. Remember when I said you believed in the tooth fairy for like 8 years, you can probably believe in yourself for 5 minutes. But here's what's interesting. These I am statements, remember we eliminated these and we went for these. I want some of you guys to please screenshot these, print them out. In fact, I'll put them up in the community center if any of you want, or you can screenshot them from in there or whatever. And I want you to, and you can print them out in your own favorite font, whatever you want. Here's the second one. Okay, you got that screenshot. Here's the second one. By the way, I have to encourage you, stop complaining. If you find yourself to be a person who complains a lot, just trust me, it's robbing you of your own future. It is not actually hurting anyone else. It might get you some attention in all of the worst possible ways, but it is murdering your business, and it is definitely harming your life. Now, here's where it changes. When you start telling yourself these things, what you focus on in life expands. And in fact, I'm gonna show you a little example of this really quickly. In fact, we did this exercise a while back with a gentleman named Jarek Robbins, who was on here with the community. Absolutely incredible. His dad, Tony Robbins, one of the, well, the #1 most influential high performance coaches in the world. Jarek is now president of Success Coaching International. Really, really fun. And I want you guys to try for the moment. And you can do it on the screen, you can do it in your room, whatever. Look around, I'm going to give you 5 seconds and find everything that's wrong with the room. Go. Everything that's wrong with the room. Look around, find wrong stuff. 4, 3, 2, a little bit more, 1, 0. Everybody find some stuff that was wrong in the room? Interestingly, our brains are programmed to find what's wrong all the time. All the time. That's called complaining. And our brains do it because our amygdala, part of our brain that's designed for fight or flight, Christine says, I ignore it, that's awesome, right? Our fight or flight mechanism tells us to find that stuff. Why? Because it used to be that outside the cave, there was a T-Rex ready to bite our head off, or a saber-toothed tiger ready to rip our stomach out, or whatever. That's what it was programmed to do, is to keep us safe. But we don't need that anymore, so we all live in suburbia, and there are no saber-toothed tigers. Hello. All right. So the beauty is we can start turning that part of our brain off, but we have to tell it what to do because the brain are stupid. That's how it works. But if we tell the brain what to do, Lexi and I do this every single night. It's an amazing exercise. We actually go out for a long walk every single day. And in our nighttime, you're like, do you really do this? Yeah, we really do this. We'll say, what are your gratitudes for the day? It's awesome. And guess what we do? We list out usually 3. That's not, you know, there's no, it's not audited. So like, whatever, we do what we want. But we tell each other what we find that we are grateful for from the day. Like right now, I am super grateful for the energy that I've been seeing from Steve on the call. I can see him right here on my screen. I'll just speak life to it. Steve has been fired up on this call. Jason's been fired up. Jackie's been fired up. Super right here. It's awesome. And I can see you guys, right? Because it's like, this is my setup. It's awesome. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that we just got our AC worked on today. It feels nice and cool. It's awesome in here. It feels really awesome. Right? We're fixing this. We had like a, whoops, nope, this side. We had a little like a, leak thing in our soffit. We fixed it. We're getting it totally fixed and pulled together. It's not leaking. I'm grateful for that. Right? So I have gratitudes that are absolutely amazing. And they become my anchor point for how I then approach the day every single day. And here's what's interesting. When you start training your brain to get in the habit of I'm in gratitude, I'm in gratitude, I'm in gratitude, then you stop focusing on everything that's wrong. And then if you combine that with I am statements that are super powerful, and you spend 1 hour a day doing what we just did together, if you think that your business won't grow 100-fold over the next year, you are out of your mind. You will have more business than you can possibly do. I promise you that. The challenge is just keeping going. It's the daily habit. And so I'm going to give you a couple hacks on that. How many people are familiar with the word accountability? You at least know what it means, right? To be accountable. It just means to say that you're going to do something, and then outside yourself or inside yourself, in this case, it'll be outside yourself, you find someone else who will help you stick to the thing that you knew that you wanted to stick to, right? Not from a did you do it kind of a stance. It's not that. It's not mean. It's not punitive. Accountability is not a bad thing. It's not your parents did you clean your room. That's not accountability. That's called punitive accountability. It's not good. Okay. What we want is a partner in crime, a person who says, I want to do this. You say, I want to do this other thing. And we say, awesome, let's check in with each other. And I'm going to give you a hack on this one, because accountability partnerships fall down all the time. And I've asked some of my very, very best buds, some of whom literally run like the #1 team in the country, that kind of thing. And I was like, what do you do for accountability? Like, what are you doing to hack that? Because I've tried like accountability partnerships, both for myself and for other people. And sometimes they work really great. Sometimes they work great for like a season, and then like everybody gets busy, and like there's just all this stuff, right? And we've all been through it. And they said, you know what we found? Triple braided cord. I'm like, what does that mean? Triple braided cord. 3 people. It's not an accountability pair. It's an accountability triad. 3 people involved. It's really easy to not show up for your accountability partner. It's hard to not show up for your accountability group when there's only 3 and you're one of the 3. That's a really wobbly stool if you lose one leg. It's awesome, right? So here's what I want you guys to do. If you're interested in forming an accountability triad, maybe with someone else on this call, and you don't have to, by the way, this is not a popularity contest. Do it if you want to do it. That's awesome. Just pop your name down in there and say like me. And then, by the way, go shopping, you guys. Like literally go shopping. Awesome. Somebody that's not in your market, even better, right? Then you won't feel like you're in competition. You just tear up your own markets. That sounds great. Pop your name down in there. And here's what's really fun. And just so you guys know, you can do this at any point in time. At any point in time, you could build a second one of these. You could say to the first group, hey, listen, I'm going to do a different thing over here. That's okay. This is not a life sentence. Do it for a season. Commit to the group for 3 months and see how it goes. Something like that. Okay, I'm trying to give you guys some strategies, but accountability is one of the most amazing things, because the true purpose of coaching, if you ever hire a coach, right? And I would encourage you, consider hiring a coach. There are great coaches out there. If you're ever confused, like, Jeff, who do I hire? I'll tell you, it ain't me. Okay, there are amazing people who will help you get your production, stay accountable. I'm not trying to sell myself. That's my point. I'm here for free for you. But here's what's amazing. You get a personal coach. Their job is to do 2 things. 1, the job of a coach, increase responsibility. Number 2, job of a coach, increase accountability. It's responsibility. Oh, sorry, and awareness. Why did I say accountability? Responsibility is really accountability. Responsibility and awareness. Scribble out what I said before. Never make a mistake ever, especially on screen. Responsibility and awareness. That's the job of a coach, a good coach. It's not to tell you how to do everything. Some people are like, well, I need a coach so that they can tell me how to run my business. No, you don't. You already know how to run your business. You're just not doing it. I promise you. When you ran the exercise before, and I was like, what would you do? And what if that didn't work? And what if that didn't work? And what if that didn't work? If you really committed to that exercise and you actually ran through it in your mind with the person that you love the most in the world's life hanging in the balance, I promise you, your brain just thought of like 12 things that you could be doing that you are not currently doing every day for 8 hours, like max intensity. Oh, I can't do that. Yes, you can. And so that's the thing that I want to definitely put out there for you guys, is find a triple braided cord. And by the way, if you're a leader and you're running a leadership organization, or you have people inside your group, offer this to them. Hey, I'd like to pair you up with 2 amazing other people. Tell me what it is that you're looking for. What would you like to accomplish? Let me help you meet some people. You interview them, let them decide if it's a good fit. People need to commit. People will never do anything that they do not personally commit to, right? I cannot make a New Year's resolution that Bill is going to go to the gym every day. Wouldn't work, right? Wouldn't work for Bill to do it for me either, right? And I still got a little tubby tuba on the left side over here. So I promise you that doesn't work. People have to decide for themselves, and then they have to go and do the thing. But you could make the introduction. And here's what's the fun part. Once you combine responsibility and awareness, what do we do with awareness today? Well, optimally, I hope, by the way, guys, that you are now aware that in your own business, if you simply were to make a call and ask for the business for an hour a day, maybe more, but I would say start with an hour. 1 hour, only 1, 5 days a week. Well, there's 7 days. Yeah, do it for 5. It probably for most people be 5 more than they did last week. That's 5 hours a week of prospecting, 20 hours a month. 240 hours of prospecting a year. 240 hours of prospecting per year. Just to be clear, we, the 60 of us, said that out of every hour, we would at least find, right, a 25% drop down or 1 closed referral per person. Yeah, I like Ricky as well. That's good stuff, Steve. This makes a huge difference, guys. And so run the distance, run the math in your head though, and start doing the law of large numbers. What I really truly love about building a business is not saying, what can I do today? Which by the way, we did do today. And FYI, after this call, guess what you should do? You're like, well, I got nothing left on my day. Guess I'll go sit on the couch, eat Cheetos, and watch the next episode of Stranger Things. By the way, very good. Don't watch it right now. Watch it tonight when nobody's answering their phone. And instead, stay standing, stay energized, jump up and down a little bit, whatever you got to do to get your energy up. By the way, it will make you more attractive because you're going to lose a couple little blubby blubs. All right, which is great. Good for all of us. I got some to go. And here's the other part. Then for the rest of the day, just make calls. Well, who do I call? Again, 4,900 contacts, every single lender in your area, every single commercial agent in your area, every single lawyer, every single CPA, you're like, I got no one to call. That is bull shadooskies. And that's what I wanted to try to get across today. Because when I hear people and they start complaining, what that really is just them feeling weak internally. And weak internally starts here, but it also starts in your body. When you just stand up, take a deep breath, put your chin up, go outside, face the sun. If the sun's not there, face a heat lamp. If that's not there, put your face in ice cold water. Don't care. Change your state immediately and put yourself in a place where you can do this. Okay, I'm going to hit pause on content right there. And I want to hear from a couple of people who have thoughts right now or questions or maybe something to add for the good of the group. Because by the way, one of the things that we do here inside the community, which again, if you're a guest, go down to the, where is it? There. Go down to the communitycenter.com and check us out. I want to encourage you to do that. We are a growth organization, but we're also a support group. We're also a mentorship, leadership, training ground. We breed leaders who are here to help other people. There's a reason there's a heart in our logo. It's not because we don't care. Anyway, I would love for you guys to pour into each other. Somebody give me something that is absolutely amazing right now that might turn the gears for someone on this call who's still just a little bit on the fence on whether or not they can do this.
Can I say something?
Please, I would love that. Hey, Michaela.
I I feel like in order to be energized, sometimes we also need to rest. And if we don't rest as well, I mean, how can we recover? How can we refuel? I feel like I need that too sometimes, even if,
I love that.
I would love to be always energized, but sometimes it's just hard. And I wonder if anyone else feels that way.
I feel that way. I'll chime in. I try to get 8 hours of rest every single night. Balance, by the way, balance can come after a season of imbalance. And Angela, let's talk about that for a really quick second. And by the way, I absolutely love that, Michaela. Rest is critical. And if you put your health at the forefront, the truth is you should be getting 7-8 hours of sleep a night, or you're not resetting your hormonal balance, right? And by the way, all of us have hormones. That's not a uniquely male or female event. All of us do for our entire lives. It's not just a puberty or, whatever thing. And here's what's really fun. And I couldn't agree more. I love that you brought up rest. If you are going to go hard, right? We call it throwing the switch. Then you need to be all the way on for a while, but then you need to be all the way off for a while. How many hours do you have in the day? My guess, if you guys are, I don't know, time zones are weird, but probably 24, right? That's what I have right now over here in Puerto Rico, right? And here's what's interesting. If we work hard for 8 and we sleep hard for 8, does that leave any time for doing other stuff? Yes. Sometimes we lie to ourselves and we say there is no time. There is the same amount of time for you, myself, every single other person on the planet. At some point, we may have to have discussions about leverage, but for most people, that is just not the problem. The problem is simply that we don't show up in our own business. And Michaela, I couldn't agree more. Not only do you need rest, I encourage not doing what we just described for at least 2 days a week, right? Literally work it like it's a job. I've heard people say, well, I think I need to go get a job. Because why? Because this isn't operating like you won the lottery. What are they going to ask you to do at the job? Probably work for 40 hours a week. Why don't you just work for 40 hours a week in your real estate business and make 20 times as much money? it makes more sense. I'm just trying to get some logic across here. I see Jordan nodding, right? I know Jordan works really, really hard in his business. That's awesome. Jordan also rests hard and he parties hard. I can tell. He's never told me that, but I just, Jordan's like, no, I don't. No, but like at some level, you have to still live a big life. Michaela's outside taking a walk right now. For me, that's part of my rest and recuperation every single day. I love walking. We've got dogs. We take them on really long walks. We explore, get lost in the rain. It's great, right? You have to find whatever suits you. And that may be that like, you're like, I'm a gamer. I need to get lost in that. That's great. I don't care. Whatever rest equals, you need to power down your brain for a bit. Steve got 3 miles in this morning. Get it, buddy. That's huge. I'm not even tracking my mileage. I just kind of know that I need to go. I get squirrely after a while, and then I'm like, all right, I'm getting weird. You probably need to get me outside, get me on a walk. What else does anyone else have to offer to other people in the group? That was amazing, Michaela. Thank you. Like, absolutely, rest is part of this equation. And by the way, if I was coming into today and last night I'd gotten 1 hour of rest, I would still, by the way, do everything in my power to show up this way on this call. But I know how I would be feeling in between in terms of really ratcheting up my true energy. We all know the difference, right? There's like performance energy, there's on-stage energy, and then there's like your actual energy. And it's choosing to be on stage for longer, but it means you got to get the rest. I love that. Who else has something that they'd like to offer, share for this sake of the group here?
I'll share something.
Please.
Joanne again. So I've been doing a lot of audiobooks and stuff, and one of the things that I heard, and I don't know, this might have been Tony Robbins, I think, actually, when people talk about balance, like, balancing work and home and family and God and all that stuff. He's like, no, it's not balance. It's 100% in on everything that you do. So if you're going to rest, rest hard. If you're going to play, play hard. If you're going to have family time, do it with everything you have. If you're going to work, give it everything you have. It doesn't have to be like, well, I get this much for this and then I get it. It's like, I'm all in whatever I'm doing. And it really makes a huge difference if you're going to know that I'm all in on resting right now. And then you focus on that. You're not going to be letting all this other stuff come into your rest time. If you're doing all in on family, you're not going to let work stuff come in during that time. If you're in work, you're not going to let the family stuff come in. It's just like 100% on everything that you're doing. And that is making a big difference for me.
That is massive, Joanne. So it's like, basically, I can't be 50% in as a parent when I'm with my kids, right? Which I don't have kids, but I assume that that's true. Or with your partner or your spouse, right? Oh, I'll just be kind of halfway here and halfway in my work, and we'll call that balance. It's not balance. You're like being half-ass at one thing and half-ass at the other thing, right? So just be whole ass or whatever, something. I love it. Sorry, somebody report me to the authorities. Here we go. All right. Who else has something? That was incredible, Joanne. I love that. Thank you. Who else has something that they can also bring to this conversation? One more for the sake of the good, and then I'm going to send us out with something cool. One more. Come on. Somebody else step up as a leader and pour into the other people on this call.
Kind of like what Joanne was saying, and this was my thought, and I'm guilty of this, time blocking it, right? But not just time blocking it, but making sure you tell yourself, I'm not going to let other distractions come in. If that email comes in, ignore it. If another call comes in, ignore it. If a text comes in, don't even look at it. Whatever it is not a fire that has to be put out in that time that you're trying to generate the business. So that's kind of to give to the team. Like, I'm guilty of it too. I'll see an email and I'm like, oh my gosh, I've got to sign up for this new lead genning platform that somebody just emailed to me, So it's like, block all that stuff out, focus for that hour. Those people can wait. And I was also going to ask you if you can put that script back up on the screen and tell me how I would screenshot that if I didn't know how to do it.
That's awesome. I'll post it inside the community group on Facebook for sure. I'll put the script up there. And also, I will put it back up on the screen for you. I'm definitely not saying no. Hold on one second. Let's get over to the right screen. I think that is totally true. And just so anybody who wants to know what Jason is saying, first off, clearing everything out of your way resonates exactly back with what Joanne's saying. You can't be halfway in your inbox and halfway on a call and expect that your energy, your urgency, your excitement, your enthusiasm, your connectedness, your listening skills to that other person are really there. If I call up Joanne and Joanne's like, I'm having kind of an interesting day because this, that, and that happened. I miss half of it because I'm checking my email. She knows I'm not really there with her and she's just going to get annoyed. She's like, this guy doesn't care about me. And she'd be right. She would be right. I wouldn't care about her in that instance. And I've been guilty of doing that, hopefully not to Joanne, but I've been guilty of doing that to people before. And then I realized, because they're like, don't you think? And I'm like, oh crap, what did they just say? What did they just say? I'm like, yeah, totally. I don't know. That's a horrible feeling. Don't do that to people that you love and care about. And you should love your clients. You should love people who are going to give you referrals. Did you get the screenshot, Jason? My man, that's awesome. And then, by the way, I had one more there. I saw, Jackie, that you were going to unmute yourself. So send us off with something good, Jackie. What you got?
I think that the I am statements are so important, because we all have so many attributes to offer. And I feel for myself, like I've been really successful at everything else I did previous to real estate. Why can't I do it now? Like, what stops me? Like, it's just those fears of like being new and like, oh my gosh, but I always remember something that my brothers always said to me. He tells me, you always need to fake it till you make it. You know what I mean? Even if you're new, like you have to just go for it. So for me, like I always have this I am statement that I tell myself to remind myself that, I'm beautiful, I'm trusting, I'm confident, I'm energetic, I'm sincere, trusting, I'm an honest woman that's giving my 100% right now. And if I do that, that motivates me. And I'm like, you know what, I could do this, because there's just moments. I mean, we all have, everything that everybody is mentioning is so true. Like we have life and we have things that, we have our good days, we have our days that we're not feeling that 100%. But, every time I go to bed, I feel like God gives me the power the next day to get up and say, you know what, it's a new day. And, it's building yourself to just become amazing every day and keep trying. And just everything that you've mentioned, all the tips that you've given us are just wonderful. Like that's what I have to say.
You're awesome, Jackie. That is so cool. And by the way, Jackie's been playing all out today. I just want everyone to know I saw you the whole time because my thing always just sorts based on who's up here. And I could tell that you're all in. Here's the thing. If you're all in all the time in life, in your business and whatever it is you're doing, guys, it will change your results, period. And Jackie, ask different questions, get a different answer. So here's the only adjustment that I would make. Instead of ever asking yourself, I've been successful in everything I've done, why can't I, blah, 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 you're implying that you can't. Just stop at, I am successful at everything I put my hands on if I just stick with it. Trust me, that is absolutely different. And so I promise you guys, it's a truly, truly amazing blessing, honor, and privilege to be affiliated with the community, to be able to pour into my friends and partners, people all over the country, all over the world now, that I know we all get to do really, really great things and help tons of people buy and sell properties. Remember that we all got into this business to go help people. So don't hold it under a bushel. Don't hide your light because you're scared to make a phone call. Make the phone call, help more people. It's why you got into this industry and yourself. It wasn't about helping yourself. It was, I love helping other people. And focus on that. When you get a little bit frustrated, go help someone else. Go find someone else to help. And I promise you, every single time it'll reset your brain. You guys are absolutely amazing. As I mentioned, it's an honor and a privilege to be part of the community. It's my favorite place to be. And we'll see you guys next week, same place, same time. All right, guys.
Thank you. Nice job.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.